Competition-wise, what do you think is like the biggest thing that people are missing out on that's helped you win comps in the past? Fitness-related ones.
Yeah, there's two main things that I see people missing out on. One of them is their base of fitness, being able to continue workouts for a longer period of time. So having a base of zone 2 always helps competition workouts for sure. So outside of the actual workouts, increasing your zone 2 work and fitness is one of them. And the main one for me that's helped me succeed in winning competitions is increasing your 1 rep max on the lifts. Okay, let me explain. So let's say in a workout you have a power clean or a snatch, okay, and your 1 rep max is 100 kilos. Well, in the workout, if the workout is 50 kilos, okay, that's 50% of your 1 rep max. Okay, now people would then go to the workout and work on that 50 kilos. Okay, they would try and get stronger and try and get more efficient on the 50 kilos. Okay, which isn't a bad strategy, but what they're missing is increasing their 1 rep max. Okay, if you increase your 1 rep max, what happens to your 50%?
Well, yeah, it's going to be less.
It then changes. So one area that people should definitely focus on is increasing their 1 rep maxes in their lifts so that when it comes to workouts, the percentage weight of what that workout is much less for that person. So instead of just focusing on the workout itself, get stronger in the lift in a single 1 rep max or a triple. And then it changes the percentage of your 1 rep max. So that's how I've always done it. I did it in powerlifting, same as functional fitness. If you can power clean 140 and the workout's 50 kilos, what does that mean?
Yeah, especially
you can just go for days. Yeah, you can just go for days and days. So don't forget to increase the 1 rep max as well.
I think with that actually adds on quite nicely to like understanding the lift.
Yeah.
Actually, like, if we look at the 1 rep max snatch today, for example, 120 kilos, right, great. I failed it 3 times. It wasn't the weight that was the problem. It was where I was landing, how I was finishing, where I was stopping at. If you take your time to just actually drop your ego a bit, focus on that movement pattern, and then that 50 kilo becomes lighter again because your ability to cycle that bar gets more efficient and quicker. And obviously there's different ways to cycle barbells, but I think if you increase your 1 rep max and you hone in the skill of the movement, and that's not just cleans, like squatting is a skill.
Okay.
Squatting is a skill, deadlifting is a skill. You see these people with proper prone butty bikes from word 1 on 60 kilos. It's like, well, if you just kept your technique, mate,
yeah, for sure,
you'd be much better. So yeah, that ties in quite well. So I think if you can drill that technique and really hone it in, you can learn where you're going wrong when you 1 reps, and then all of a sudden your 1 rep max goes higher, and then all of a sudden your ability to cycle that 50 kilo gets better.
I think one of the things as well is people don't know how to fix and correct. Like today, like you say, you snatched that 120. We had 3 failed attempts at first, but you knew what went wrong every single time and what you had to do to get the 1 rep max and actually complete the rep. I think, especially with the more technical lifts, like you say, squatting, deadlifting, they're very much, our basic compounds. But I think the more technical the lift is, the more understanding of the lift that you need, because as soon as you did that first one, you was like, didn't get tall enough. Second one, got too tall. Third one, too much power off the floor, too amped up. So you knew every step of the way where the bar went wrong and what the correction was needed to complete the 1 rep max. I think that's really key for people, is to really understand the lifts, the technical lifts. And then you know what to do to get stronger. It's the same kind of thing. If you don't know how to fix it, how are you going to get stronger?
Yeah.
And especially with the technical lifts, it isn't a strength issue. It's not a technical issue. It's a position issue. It's getting used to the.
A lot of the time, it's a lot of the time with the failed lift on all this stuff is usually a technicality, because if it's over your head, it's over your head, right? The technicality is where you've landed at some point. If you catch it in a squat and you forward, you're going to roll forward off the clean. So it's finding that, or knowing the lines and balances you need. And I think so many people go, I'll just cycle it this way, or they go 1 rep with no technique, and there's no middle ground. It's like, there's a reason why we set time and percentages and weights, and we're doing EMOMs and segmented, and we're looking at all these different patterns and functions. It's not because we want to piss about. It's
we're looking to improve the lift.
We're trying to get you strong in different technical positions, so you can effectively understand, all right, I should be feeling this way at this point, I should feel like this at this point. And then when you do make that attempt and you think, it wasn't heavy, but I missed that. So
Yeah, understanding where you've missed
pass it to it, and I think once you can do that, because most comps now have like a 3 rep max or a 1 rep max or whatever else, and like if you're doing a 3 rep max, you're still close to a 1 rep max, right? There's not a huge change in weight from that, and so if you can't proficiently move that technique 3 times on the go, I do the first one, I think, shit, I didn't extend here, and then do the next one the same way. Eventually, that fatigue's going to get.
Yeah, you just never progress. Yeah, you'll
and
miss.
you're stuck in that problem of like, oh, I missed that many reps. It's like, well, no, actually, you just didn't do that. Yeah.
Okay, so that was kind of like 2 or 3 questions in one.
I don't know how we manage that.
It's just where we want to stop it and start it, because that was how long was it?
I thought I was talking forever. What else should I talk about? We talk about the zone 2 work.
I think
9 minutes.
I think you
What do you want to talk?
just balancing strength to balance
Yeah.
this at the same time, and how sometimes that doesn't work for everyone, because it's like some people are more prone to strength and some people
Yeah.
are prone to conditioning, and one you get the dividends from it, but the other one starts to like even slow down.
Yeah.
So maybe something like that.
Yeah, that's good.
You can just lead on, can't you, really?
Do you want to ask me a question?
So could that work? First, like, in regards to sort of strength and fitness, then combining it, what sort of layout would you be thinking? Or what sort of structure would you think would be the best option?
I think that question would have to be answered with like days and workouts per week.
So if we did like, how can you best combine the two at the same time to be functionally fit without breaking it down into days? I suppose you can just say, well, yeah, just have to break it physically.
All right, let's just carry on the conversation then. Come on, let's just fucking chat. Just ask me the question. Let's go.
So, if we look at that, then we take into regards like strength in general, and we said about building a base of zone 2 for being able to cycle the barbell, etc. How do you combine those two? Like, what's your function for combining those two to be able to gradually increase both at the same time? Or are we looking at maintaining one, increasing one? What's your way of doing it? How do you find that structure best versus someone like if Baldwin was doing it, for example?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because we always have like set plans. We have certain things where it's like, here's what you should do 3 days a week. Here's what you should do 5 days a week. You can go into technical detail of what the workouts are going to be for both strength and endurance, but you need to look at yourself first. I am strength based, so for me, like, and you have to look at the person in front of you. Like, so the person listening to this, they have to go, am I really a strength person? Am I an endurance person? Am I somewhere in the middle? You have to figure out where you're at, because I know I don't need to touch a bar for a long time and I'll still maintain strength, and I can still come back to strength quite easily. So for me, knowing that, I can focus a lot more on endurance and getting better at endurance, because that doesn't stay as well as strength. I have to focus on that more and give that more time and attention to be able to be fitter and for the workouts. So for me, look at your strengths and your weaknesses, kind of develop a plan around that. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it'd be like, it depends what the competition is. Like, we are very specific when it comes to the competitions. Yeah. If it's a functional fitness competition, I won't be outside hitting the road for miles. Recently, we've just done the ultras, so of course it requires the miles outside. But if it was a functional fitness competition like Athex or Turf Games or whatever, you wouldn't see me outside, doing much work. I would have a zone 2 work. It might be a 10K run. It might be just something to tick over. But the rest of the work will be done in here.
I do think with functional fitness comps, you shouldn't be running a strength block leading into a functional fitness comp. Experience-wise, most people at functional fitness comps have a very similar sort of strength. Those that are good at the lifting always tend to be near the top. And then you get into that fitness realm, and like, if you're not in the top 5, 10 of that fitness realm, you're coming nowhere.
I agree.
And so anyone that is going into a comp, like when that comp's coming up, your strength should really be not diminished, but it should be on a baseline. We'll just maintain position and looking at form and technicalities, and the primary focus should be on whatever's in that functional fitness. So 100%, like, so many people are going in, they're like, 1 rep max, yeah. And it's like, that's great, but you've now got to go and do sweat for it. So trust me, I've done it.
Yeah. No,
I've done it. I've made the mistake.
I'm laughing because we see it so many times where you get the guys and the girls that are so good at lifting and they never win the competitions that are like that because there's too much fitness involved. It's funny because we always say in here, if you're just fit, let's just say you've got a real big base of fitness, capacity to do the ergs, you can run a little bit, if you're just good at fitness, you're going to get close to the top 10. Yeah. You're going to get close to the top 5 actually. Fitness carries you a long way in these competitions. Strength is just one part. The fitness carries you way further.
Exactly, and that's one of the things you've got to look at as well, is like the type of fitness events are in there. Like, if it's a short 10-minute Metcon, and you can sling tin, and you can hang on, you're a powerful person that's got the ability to
You're all right
power
for 8 minutes.
to do in and out. You're good for 8 minutes, trust me.
Yeah.
You're good for 2 minutes. Like you're good for whatever that distance is. But once it comes to it, you've just got to work consistently at a high level for 20 minutes. Go.
Yeah.
Like that's a different ballgame. And if you're strength and power and you've not focused on this bit, that bit can be the whole ending of your workout.
Well,
and that's an experience thing. Like I went, did strength bit up in the top 10, went and did the Metcon bit up in the top 2, did the fitness bit. Fuck man.
But overall scores.
Like, and I knew it was the case, but I thought, fuck it, I'll be right.
Yeah.
Clearly not. Overall score, I didn't get there. But that's the whole thing, like, you've got to really focus on whatever that event is, and you've got to make sure that you're ready for the functionality. Like you said, if you're doing Andorra, 100 miler, you're going outside for lots
of course.
If you're doing a functional fitness comp, like, you're going to want to be good at function, and that's not just conditioning in the sense of like, oh, I'm just going to run and I'm just going to do these 500-meter intervals, or I'm just going to, like, slinging a dumbbell versus running on a road is two different things. Combining the two together is an entirely different entity again. It's a whole, like, I'm going to use a fancy word, plethora of different energy systems, right? So you need to, like, structure, anyone that's doing functional fitness comps, they need to structure that. For me, they need to structure that routine, and that needs to be the function, is just these baselines.
Yeah.
Still need your zone 2 for recovery and for generalized baseline aerobic fitness. But
so in competitions, you need to be working all the way through the zones.
Yeah.
Like winning, like showing up to a comp, if you've got a good baseline of fitness, you're going to be okay. To win comps, you need to work through all the ranges of your zones, like, for sure. You can't leave anything, no stone unturned.
And at the end of the day in a comp, right, we're redlining. We're not got, like, there's structure, there's thought process, like, right, okay, you're better on the assault bike than I'm better on than I am, but I'm much better at slinging a snatch, for example. I'm going to take the majority of snatches, you do an extra few calories on the assault bike, right? So there's that sort of work where you could say, like, you're an erg guy, I'm a dumbbell barbell. I'll do more barbell, you do more erg, we'll chop and chip.
But either way, you're redlining.
Either way, you're fucking redlining at some point.
Yeah.
So if you ain't got the baseline fitness to recover from that, guess what? That recovery time's fucking shit.
Just
and
extends. So
when you hit the red line, there's no coming back from the red line. Whereas if you've got a good baseline,
that's it.
Coming back from that red line's a bit quicker. Being able to go again with a little bit more red line is
it. So if we could tie up that fitness thing into a scenario, that's it. Once you've hit the red line, what is the duration before you recovered? How long does it take for you to recover? And can you go again at that same red line within that set time frame? That to me is the difference between winning and losing competitions, and that's where the fitness really needs to be there.
And that's where, like, if you don't have that zone 2, if you've not been working the energy systems,
energy systems, like intervals,
you're gonna be smashed. Because trust me, lactate is a
yeah, for sure. Hybrid box chat with me and Gav talking everything training.